I've got a great video for you today. It's about a young woman complaining about how hard it is for women in the Western world today. Oh, they're so abused and put upon by all the evil patriarchy. And I don't even know. As a man, I don't know. And she's speaking out to me specifically. So I will change my evil ways. Oh. Anyway, thank you for stopping by my channel. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Make sure you're still subscribed and watch the video to the very end. I'm going to start adding on to the end of the video some segments called Your Weekly Moment of Woke. They won't be on the end of every video, but try to get them in there once a week, because I'm finding a lot of stuff about woke, good or bad, that I just can't really reasonably make a whole video out of, whether or not I have the time even to make a whole video out of some of these things. So let's go ahead and get into this very cringy video. Oh, she's strong. You see how strong she is, standing there with her hands on her hips, stoically waiting for you to tune in to her message. I really don't like smugness, especially when the person being smug is just so blatantly wrong.
People always say that the girls of this generation are so vain. Why can't they put their brains towards books instead of good looks? I used to blame girls too.
Well, you look at the women today, and I compare it to my mother. Now, I've seen pictures of my mother when she was a young woman. She was a very attractive young woman, and she actually did do some modeling when she was young. But when she got married, she became a wife and mother. She didn't focus on her looks anymore. Now, I can go out to the store and see these women who are all glammed up and they got kids hanging off their legs. I mean, you can be presentable even if you're a mother. I get it, but where's your priority? Is your priority on your child? Or is your priority on your looks?
Be more than a perfect body with a pretty hairdo. And then I stepped out into the world. I opened my eyes to the truth about being a girl. I heard guys say things like, dude, she was 10 times tighter than that girl you hit and quit Ray, or I want to pipe your sister someday, or...
Okay, so who talks like this? I've been around men my whole life. I've been in locker rooms, male locker rooms, and I've never heard a man say, yeah, she was 10 times tighter than that other... No, I've seen him say, yeah, she's hot. She's hotter than the other girl you went out with. But they don't just boil women down to these exterior qualities. And as far as I'd pipe your sister, yeah, I've had friends that had attractive sisters, and I would be like, dude, your sister is pretty. I would like to. And he's like, dude, I don't want to hear that. I want to hear that you think my sister's attractive. That's not something that I'm interested in knowing about. Thank you. So where you're getting this idea from, it's all in your head, I'm sure.
Or her ass looks like a racetrack with those stretch marks, but at least it's big like Kim K's.
Kim K has a disgusting ass. Kim K is a disgusting person, and I know men who think that she's attractive, but I don't know any men who like drool over her. The only people I've ever seen who idolize Kim is women. So don't even start that crap with me. See, again, this is all in your head. You're just making stuff up.
I never grew up thinking of those things. Don't blame me, but when I thought about boys, I thought about dinner dates and soulmates, not fuckboys that look at you like shark bait.
Yeah, so I don't know what boys you're hanging out with, but you're probably just accusing anybody who looks at you at all. Any male who looks at you at all is looking at you like you're shark bait. Like, I'll look at a girl and I can admire her attractiveness, her beauty, but I'm looking for a girl for long term. I mean, I have that. So that's what I was always looking for. I was always looking at, wow, yeah, but I never wanted to just like hit it and quit it. I always wanted a long-term relationship. So maybe you're overreacting to men showing interest in you. I'm betting that's what it is, really, because you seem to be overreacting about everything.
It breaks my heart for every girl growing up in this world. Instead of, how was your day messages, we get, you up, want to come fuck? I am not an object. I have a voice and something to say. Do not assume that I...
If you have a voice and something to say, then why is it when you open your mouth to speak, just vile hatred comes out? Instead of like important stuff. Say, hey, you know, I like you, I want to spend time with you, but I'm looking for this long-term thing. If you're down for that, then yeah, we can spend time together, but you're not going to come over in the middle of the night or late at night and get busy with me. We're going to go and get to know each other, because that's what dating is. Dating is about getting to know each other. And people for generations now have forgotten this, and they think that dating is about hooking up.
I belong in your bedroom. I belong in a conference room. And for anyone...
You belong in a conference room, do you? Really? Yeah, these high-powered CEO jobs, these high-powered executive jobs. Women deserve to have those. What about those janitorial jobs? How about mining jobs or mechanic jobs? How about working as a store clerk? You know, there's a million different jobs that women can do. Women can do everything that a man can do, only better. But you don't want to. You always want to look at women and going, see, look, she's a high-powered executive. You never want to say, hey, look, she's just a working-class woman. She's a poor-class woman who's trying to make her way. There's always got to be like, I deserve the best. And then you never even want to think about the disgusting jobs, the dirty jobs that men do, the really nasty jobs that are deadly and just gross. You never want to think about those things.
Who thinks that this generation is so vain, it's because us girls have been held under a microscope day to day. It's like beautiful doesn't even exist unless you can cross everything off the checklist. Big butt, big boobs, skinny waist, includes small nose, plump lips, bony hips, hairless, careless, but still has an awareness. In all fairness,
yeah, that's you. Because pretty much every girl I come across has a boyfriend, no matter how good she looks. Not all of them. As I'm getting older, I'm finding more and more women don't have a boyfriend, no matter how good they look. So that tells me something about you. It's not about beauty standards. It's about bitchiness standards. So good job. Keep bitching, and you're going to be single.
I want to be seen as beautiful too. I mean, I don't want to be demeaned. I mean, I'm not the same girl I was at 15. I mean, I'm stuck in between being a girl and a woman, growing up in a world that has taught me to look sexy, get a degree, maybe a little rhinoplasty.
Yeah? Well, maybe you shouldn't listen to the messages the world is teaching you. I had to learn the hard way. I listened to the messages the world was teaching me. Had some painful lessons out there. You're going to have some painful lessons too, only you're going to end up alone.
But never disagree with misogyny. A world that has not taught me that being a woman is living in fear that your basic health care will disappear, or that
your basic health care is in jeopardy? Where is this coming from? Men pay more in taxes than women do, and women utilize more tax-based programs than men do. There is no, there's universal health care in the United States, sort of, but nothing is being taken away from you. You have access to everything that I have access to. So I don't know what you're worried about. There's never been a talk of your healthcare being taken away, unless you're referring to, Planned Parenthood is being pushed out of certain states in the country. That's not your basic healthcare, though. That is your get out of jail free card for your irresponsibility. Those states want that out of their communities because they don't want women. This is just my understanding. Correct me if I'm wrong, but they don't want women going around being irresponsible, getting pregnant, and then getting an abortion. They want women going around going, I can't get pregnant because there's no other option. If I get pregnant, I'm going to have this baby, and I'm going to have to raise it. I'm going to have to pay for it, and I can't afford that, so I'm not going to get pregnant. That seems to me where they're coming from. Maybe I'm wrong though.
your paycheck might somehow be smaller than a man that does the same job, or that your boss might tell you to stop.
Really, the wage gap. I'll bring this point up again. I bring it up every once in a while. So when we try to factor in all the different factors, education level, time on job, overtime, etc., the wage gap apparently drops down to only like 6%. But I used to wait tables. I waited tables for about 5 years of my life. I worked in restaurants for about 9 years of my life. It's a nightmare. Don't work in a restaurant if you can avoid it, because it is a nightmare job. It's just horrible. But the male waiters always claimed a higher percentage of their tips than the female servers did. Always. Like the female servers are only claiming like half their tips. The men, I think, on average, were claiming about 70% of their tips. I would claim all my tips, so that's just how it works.
Stop giving him blowjob eyes. If you want a raise, you gotta compromise. Show me what lies above those thighs. Boy.
That's illegal. That's called sexual harassment. Sexual harassment. So why don't you dress professionally? Maybe don't show your legs. That's the thing, is women want to like dress sexy on the job and then be taken seriously. Women want to go onto the job and be like beauty queens when they're there and then be taken seriously. It's like, yeah, I'm not looking at your brains when you're talking. I'm looking at your boobs because you're being provocative. You can dress in a respectable manner and also an attractive manner at the same time. Like, you don't see me going in to work wearing muscle shirts, being like, yeah, look at me, I'm all ripped, you know. I may wear a shirt that does kind of emphasize my physique a little bit, but not anything like where you're going to be able to tell that I'm just like walking around showing off my abs and my shoulders and, you know, these tight jeans and stuff. And I see girls doing that stuff all the time at work, wear these skinny jeans that show off their butts, and we're expected to take them seriously. We're expected not to hit on them. We're not even expected to ask them, like, hey, you know, I have a really good time talking to you while I'm at work. You want to grab a cup of coffee tonight? Nope, that's sexual harassment. We're not allowed to do that. It's ridiculous.
Please. The moment you misidentified everything was when you forgot that not even 100 years ago, I could not vote.
And if I get my way,
look at what happens when you try to demote the very bodies that give birth to you, please.
Okay then, cultural appropriation much there. You're not allowed to do that. But nobody thinks that you don't give birth to children. We understand this from a very early age. We can observe and go, oh, look, your belly is getting big, mommy. Yeah, that means I'm going to have a baby soon. You're going to have a brother or a sister. Little kids understand this. This is ingrained in us so deeply that for thousands of years, human beings thought that babies came from women, and women were actually, in many cultures, revered as gods because of this, as the divine, because they were the life givers. Men didn't give life. Then we figured out that, hey, it takes two to tango, and things changed. And women had it really well for a while, but
we are used to it all, and we are appalled, but you see, we don't know what it's like to be free. Equality is not just about calling someone out. Equality is accountability, that my brother knows that I am equal to him, so equality is education.
Everybody knows that you're equal. In fact, you're better than equal. You're the most important people in the world. So even though it takes two to make a baby, it doesn't take as many men to make babies to populate a society. Men are the expendable ones. We can get rid of them, and still society will go on. We can't get rid of women. As soon as we lose enough women, society is going to collapse because we're not going to have replacement rates on the civilization, on the population. And so what we're doing in our society instead here in the United States is, since birth rates are falling, we're just going to import these people from other countries that are crime-ridden, and those countries are ruled by a criminal element because they have a different cultural understanding. And we're just going to bring all that cultural understanding here to this country, so this country can be ruled by a criminal element instead of by law-abiding, moral people.
From classrooms to courtrooms to conference rooms and computer screens, it is using tech for good, for Me Too, for movements. Equality is truth, is strong voices, is breaking through the silence that exists, because silence can't exist if it's not tolerated.
Equality is truth, huh? That's what equality is. I thought equality was equality and truth was truth. It doesn't matter if things are true or not. You can still be equal. It doesn't matter if everything is true. You can still be unequal. And can you define equality? You can't define it. You don't even know what you're talking about. You think that equality is a paycheck. You think that equality is a man not leering at you. But how many women have leered at me? I'm not even like super Chad here. Like I've said, I'm mini Chad. I'm like short dude. I'm pretty good looking, especially for my age. But I've had women leer at me. I've had women come on to me. I've had women ask me out. You know, according to you, that's bad. But I bet if it was Chad, it would be okay. If it was the 6 foot tall guy with the rock hard abs, a good sense of style, a sports car, rolled up and said, hey, baby, he would be like, oh, hi. Even if you had a boyfriend. So don't give me this. This is all so one-sided. They don't understand this. That it's okay for them to discriminate. It's okay for them to have standards. But if a man has a standard, if a man looks at a woman, that's not okay. And you might be saying, well, you know, they do have a point. You know, I mean, like sexual assault, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, okay. I've looked at thousands of women. I have lusted after thousands of women. Just in my head. Just looking at them, wow, she's got what I want. I have never, ever assaulted a woman in any way. Maybe verbally, but I mean, people throw words around a lot. So that's not even a thing. I mean, freedom of speech is what I say. I've never touched a woman inappropriately. So, you tell me.
It is all of you. Changing the future, clearing the path for every woman and every man. It is
She tossed men in there, you know. Probably had a thought about her father. She apparently appreciates him.
raising the next generation to know that not only does their voice matter, but it will be heard. And that's why we got the power in our hands, because we will not sit back and nod and smile while certain people reconcile the rules to being fertile. Sorry, but it's my body, baby. I may be a young lady, but my dad always taught me to speak out and fight against injustice of every kind.
Yeah, you should be speaking out about injustice of every kind, but you know what she's speaking out about here? Things that directly impact her in her mind. Because none of these things that she's mentioned have actually ever caused her any problems in her life. None of them have. Even if she's been misled into having a physically intimate relationship and then the man walked away, that's on her. Because I was told my whole life that men do that. I was never told that women do that. I was told that women, if they have sex with you, that means they want to have a long-term relationship with you. Boy, was I wrong. But you don't hear her talking about how, oh, look, we got a problem here in this country with homelessness. You go down to LA County here in California, it's like dystopian nightmare. Tent cities everywhere. What about something that we all know about? Like maybe she isn't aware of the homeless situation in this country, or at least in California. What about Middle Eastern women? What about women being circumcised so that they don't experience healthy sexual pleasure? Because that's happening in countries. That whole cultural thing is much more complicated than I'm making it out to be, but that does happen, and it is wrong. You don't hear her saying anything about that inequality, that disgusting inequality where women are not allowed to enjoy that aspect of life. These people are so backwards they don't understand that if a woman does enjoy that, she can become much closer to her partner. But I digress. Anyway, moving back on with this fiasco.
So here I am speaking out for all my ladies in the house. We will not stop the fight until we hold our rights for women of every color, size, shape, sexual identity, and place in this world. And that is the truth about being a girl.
Somehow, that's oddly correct. But only in their heads. We got comments. Well, you're going to love the comments. Let's take a look at these comments here. They're great. Digal says, don't blame me. When I thought about boys, I thought about dinner dates and soulmates, not F-boys that look at you like shark bait.
Damn, that hit hard.
No, it didn't hit hard. And only in your mind did it hit hard, okay? Because when I think about women, I think about partnership. I think about a life partner to help me get through this crazy thing. That's what it's all about. But I've been used by women for their own sexual gratification. So can't even start that with me. Brianna says,
just imagine having this much confidence.
Really? You don't have the confidence to stand up and go, this is what I think, even though you're wrong? Maybe that's what she's getting at. Maybe she's like, wow, this girl is so wrong, but yet she's standing there spewing out this nonsense anyway. There was over 53,000 comments on this video, by the way. Deadpool 2020 says, choose to be a garden tool without any force. All her decisions and choices. So take responsibility and not cry about it. And blaming men for everything. Yep. Yeah, she's just blaming that men have disrespected her in some way. But it's her own choice. She's the one who's been going out and getting with these men. Keep your legs together. You won't have this problem. The problem comes from men and women. It's more women are more to blame because of Refolt's law. Women control access to mating rights. Women decide, and this is throughout the entire animal kingdom. We set up a society amongst us humans that allowed for a greater number of men to participate in the mating act. But it's all just, hey, let's get what we want for right now. Hedonism, and men are doing it too. Men, I tell you guys, don't give women what they want. You want to have good women in the world? Don't sleep around. Women are mostly to blame, but men are also to blame for this because men are contributing to the problem. Shannon McLeod says,
the words every girl wants to say. This is amazing.
Yeah, it's cringy and short-sighted and selfish. Not surprising that you think it's amazing. Me IG says,
just because you have no prince does not mean you're not a princess. Zayn Malik.
Yeah. All women are princesses, right? Yep, they're all little princesses that deserve to be treated with the utmost of respect, just served on a silver platter, everything that they want. Julie says,
This comment section is doing a great job on reminding me of just how much I hate men.
yeah, most of the comment section was pretty bland as far as what the men were saying. It's like, we saw the worst comment where the guy was like, yeah, you're causing all these problems in your life. Why are you blaming men for it? But, hating all men, that's just a joke. We don't actually hate all men, right? Alvy says,
Can we make her the new president?
oh, God, help us if a person like this were the president. Oh, no, we got this instead. Just as bad. Natasha King says,
The most alluring thing a woman can have is confidence.
Beyonce, what is it with these women and confidence? I can tell you right now, the most alluring thing women can have is more like large breasts, flat stomach, tight booty, long shapely legs, and a sweet disposition. Those are going to be the things that men are going to look for. Way more so than confidence. Way more so, like 1,000 times more than confidence. Melon Adams says,
You don't have to be skinny to be beautiful.
Darman is wrong. Ori says,
I am not an object. I have a voice and something to say. I felt that. The camera crew felt that. Buzzfeed felt that. Your mom felt that. All the girls felt that.
No, they didn't feel that. The more you women prattle on about how you're not an object, the more men look at you and go, yeah, you're an object. Men don't think of you as objects until you start claiming that we think of you as objects. Then we're like, yeah, with that attitude, I'm going to think of you as an object. Or just a thing that's in my way because you want to accuse me of objectifying you? Yeah. Because we say, oh, I'd hit that. No, that's just a weird quirk of the male psyche. I'd hit that is, I don't know what that comes from. I've thought about it and I can't figure it out why we use the word that sometimes to refer to women. But I've said that and I don't want to use women for that purpose. I want them to be a partner to me. So I don't know where that comes from, but it's in us. The Vagolfer, defending the indefensible. My grandmother once told me two very important things. Women are their own worst enemies, and why would women want to lower themselves to equality? Yes. Women had more rights probably before they had the right to vote than they have now, and they had fewer responsibilities to society. Women were the protected class because they have to have babies. If you give that up, your birth rates are going to drop, and that's what we see in this country. In the United States, the birth rates have fallen off a cliff. And we have my long ding dong. Women don't treat us men like we're expendable. Pleasure, please. Never, ever. LOL. Yeah, exactly. Like I said, I've been used more than once by women for their own carnal desires, thinking that they wanted a relationship. Even had them lie to me, saying, "Yeah, I want a relationship." I've been led on. I've been strung along. I've been teased. I've been embarrassed on purpose by women. The games they played. Unfortunately, I went through all that as a teenager, so I figured it out real quick that women are going to lie to you and cheat you, and unless I get something in return, I'm not putting up with your BS. You got to show reciprocity, or I'm out. So that is this crazy Buzzfeed video that is just, it's got millions of views and it's just so cringy and people love it, and I don't understand why, because it's terrible. But thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Make sure you're still subscribed, and I will see you all in the next video.